Going over study guide for unit test on Friday. Your first set of data, what's the first thing we should do? Not put it in order, least to greatest. Okay? So, go through. You should have a mean of 22. We find that by adding all the numbers together and dividing by the amount of numbers, which on this, I believe there were, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yes. Median, again, middle number, 23. The mode, the number you see most often, should be 23. Range, difference between your highest and lowest number is 53. Your lower quartile, which is the middle of your lower half, should be 12. Upper quartile should be 29. The difference between those two to get your inner quartile range is 17. Now, the one that most people are having confusion with is the MAD, the mean absolute deviation. You're going to take all of your numbers and your mean, find the difference between your mean and each number. So you would do 22 minus 3, and that gives you 19. 22 minus 5 gives you 17. Go through and do that for all of your numbers. Once again, add them together. You get 160 divided by 15 numbers, which will give you 10.67. Yes?
How did you get 3?
3 right here. Because, you know what? It would be 1. You are correct. I'm not sure why we're at 3. Yeah, so it should be 1. So all of those 3 should be 1, 1, 1, 1. I did it on a separate sheet of paper, I think, when I copied it down. So those should be 1, but still 160 divided by 15. Did you still get 10.67?
Yeah. I got 10.6.
Well, it was like 10.6 repeating.
Yeah, and then it went to 7.
Yeah. Are all the other numbers the same?
Yeah, those are right.
And then divide by 15. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and look at our box and whisker plot. To create your box and whisker plot, you're using your lower quartile, your median, your upper quartile. That makes your box. So we've got 22, 29, and 12. That box is in the majority of our data. My highest whisker is at 56. My lowest whisker is at 3. Alright. Again, same data, creating a stem and leaf plot. Yours should look like this. With a stem of 0, these are the numbers that are just in my ones place. So 3, 5, and 7. And then we would read this as 12, 13, 14, 20, 23. And then the last one is 56. Okay? Alright, so let's look at the graph at the bottom. One thing I would suggest, even when you get your test tomorrow, once you have a histogram, go through and write the numbers on your columns. It makes it easier when you're having to add them together to find your answers. So how many students' test scores are higher than 70? So we would add together the 71 through 80 all the way through 100. That would give us 22. How many students scored between 81 and 90? That would be 8. And how many students scored less than 91? So we would add all of these 4 columns. Why is there nothing here? In the absolutely, no one scored in the 61 to 70 range. Okay, so adding those last 2 columns together would give us 28. Okay, number 5. This is your line plot. The mode of the pulse rates would be 80 and 83 because they're tied. You have 4 80s and 4 83s. The range of the pulse rates, that would be 85 minus 79, so 6. And the highest pulse rate anyone could have would be 85. Do you see why 85 is the highest?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's not saying how many people scored the highest. Right, it's saying what was the absolute highest. Yes. Be careful, you will have a question similar to this one right here on your test tomorrow. So make sure you're looking at the highest value, not the highest number of people, the frequency. Yes, ma'am. Question?
Mary.
Question?
Yeah, letter B, I think it's 6.
On B? the range, so my highest pulse rate is 85 because I have two 85s, and my lowest is 79. So I just did 85 minus 79. Think of it this way. If you were listing these numbers, you would write 79, 79. You would write 80 4 times, then 81, 82 3 times, and so forth. So your last number you would write would be 85. First one you would write would be 79. So subtract. Okay, let's look at the back.
Okay.
You have a box and whisker plot. We talked about this one during class. Again, each of these sections represents 25% of your data. So when you're answering these questions, remember that. Scores the lower quartile, which is right here, that is 9. The interquartile range would be from 14 to 9, which would be 5. The median would be 11. The 75th percentile, so 25th, 50th, 75th would be 14. And then what percent of the scores are between 6 and 14, and that would be 75%. The last two questions, the stem and leaf plot. Let's come back to the median in just a second. Your mode, hopefully this was easy enough to find. If you see, you have 67 listed twice, you have 77 listed twice, and you have 82 listed twice. So there were actually 3 modes. The median. Don't feel like you have to list these numbers out to find it. If I counted all these together, I had 47 individual numbers. So if I take 47 and split it in half, what would that give me? 23 on each side and 1 in the middle. So I'm going to go back and count backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So there's 23 on this side. Count from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And this would be my 1 in the middle. Now remember, it's not 8. It is actually 28. So your median would be 28. Okay? All right. Thank you, guys. I'm going to stop this.